this thing?
You know, I just found out that's a round map.
Well, all of it is playing you for a fool.
That's impossible. I'm flexing America's muscle.
And that's exposing just how bad of a politician you really are.
I'm gonna get everything I want.
Has anything you've tried actually worked?
Tariffs on Canada make them realize they need us.
No, we'll make other trade partners, but you need our resources.
Come on, you know you'd be much happier as a state.
That's never gonna happen. Ever.
I'm gonna get Greenland.
You're not. They just voted against that.
Then I'll take it by force.
That would mean going to war with NATO, which means going to war with yourself.
And I only do that in the bathroom on Air Force One.
Gross. Zelensky just played you on the war with Russia.
No, he didn't.
I just agreed to your ceasefire.
See, that's exactly what I wanted.
Oh yeah, now ask Putin what he's doing.
Bloody, you want peace, right?
Duh.
That's why I'm the best.
Piece of dead ass.
Oh, good one, but you're gonna agree to a ceasefire too, right?
Niet, not at all. We want total surrender.
I've been lied to.
The word is played.
Well, Europe still needs me.
500 million Europeans begging 300 million Americans to protect them from 140 million Russians who can't overcome 50 million Ukrainians? Does that sound like they need you?
200% tariffs on European alcohol.
You don't think Europeans will figure out how to drink more? Have you been here?
Well, there's still Trump Gaza.
And how is your plan in the Middle East going?
Well, let's see. Hamas, you're gonna release the hostages, right?
No.
I'm gonna unleash hell on you if you don't.
Still no.
It's going great.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for joining me here for Conversations with Taz. Now, last time we saw each other, I took great pleasure in showing y'all just how much Trump lied. But there was one particular lie that we did not get a chance to discuss. So let's discuss that real quick.
Was watching the speech last night here in Indiana might have been a little surprised with what the president had to say about Honda.
Already, numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world.
Well, Honda already does have a plant in Indiana, in Greensburg. It's been producing vehicles since 2008. We contacted Honda today about what the president had to say about a new plant. In a statement, a Honda spokesperson thanked the president for recognizing the company's commitment to making cars in America, but also pointed out Honda did not announce plans for a new plant in Indiana or anywhere in the U.S. at this time. Now, earlier in the week, there was a report by Reuters that the next generation Honda Civic would be made in Indiana instead of Mexico due to tariffs. Honda said it had made no such announcement and would not comment on the report.
So it's not just Trump supporters that can't go past a headline. It's Trump himself and his closest staffers. Now remember, Lutnick has been bragging to the point where he's getting on everybody's nerves that he's in such close proximity with Trump. And even he's not stopping Trump from embarrassing himself. I guess after the headline, that's just too much reading, I guess. Jeez. Wonder, well, we know from last time how those security briefings are going. But I told you, this man never stops campaigning, even though he doesn't have another election that he could ever enter. He wants to keep campaigning. Also, word on the curb is that he was campaigning while at the board meeting for the Kennedy Center. You know, the Kennedy Center board that he gutted, installed himself as the head of, and then filled with his top sycophants. He was giving them one of his long-winded, all over the place campaign speeches. Yeah, good times. Now, before we get into anything else political, there's a video going around. It's about the hard work experiment, because constantly people are trying to debunk racism and act as if it is not still a thing and as if it's not still detrimental, that, oh, you can just overcome these things with hard work. Take a listen, and then we'll go over this on the other side. Okay? I'll see you in 2 and 2.
Is denied by everyone but is actually 100% real. I saw a video a few years ago of a Harvard Business School graduate that wanted to prove that all you needed for success was a bit of hard work. So he went to this very poor, mostly black community with $100 in his pocket. His plan was to stay for 1 month. Once he arrived, the first thing he did was buy an old working lawnmower and a can of gas. He then went knocking on doors offering to cut people's lawns. I think he started with $10 a cut, but quickly realized he should charge $20. By the end of the first day, he earned enough to buy a burner phone, print up some ads for his lawn mowing business, with a bit left over to buy some food. I think he slept under a bridge the first night. The next day, he had enough money to buy a second lawnmower and hire a guy to help him mow lawns. He also had some money for food, and again slept under a bridge. The video kept going that way, and by the end, he had bought a beat-up old pickup truck, hired a full crew, had a small fleet of lawn mowers, weed whackers, and other landscaping tools and supplies, and he had also rented a small studio apartment. He was even talking about snow removal in the winter. The video was presented that his experiment was successful, and yes, with a bit of hard work, success can come easy. But there was 3 important factors that they didn't mention in the video.
Now, you know that everyone that touts hard work is all you need always starts out with a bit of money, with a loan from somebody else. So it's not hard work is all you need. That's one thing. Because if it was hard work is all you need, why didn't he just show up in that neighborhood? First of all, why did he choose that neighborhood? If hard work is all you need, you could go to any neighborhood and make it. But why didn't he just show up with nothing in his pocket? Number 2, he didn't start off with a place to live. Now, I don't know about you, but most people aren't born with no place to go. So he started off with no current bills, not paying any type of insurance, nothing. He didn't start off with a traditional 9 to 5 or working for someone else. So he determined his hours. He could work from sun up to sundown. He had no dependents, no mother, grandmother, grandfather, father to take care of, nothing. And the third thing that you probably didn't even think of, he was a white man going into a predominantly black neighborhood. How many people would tell him no? Because either they have internalized racism and they believe seeing a white face, he's going to do a better job than anybody else because he's doing something that's commonplace in black communities, in black neighborhoods. 2, there are people that will be afraid to say no, especially during the time that this experiment happened, out of fear that he may concoct a story and call the police. No one would have shown fear of him just coming up to their door and doing anything. So is it truly hard work is all you need? And why do people ignore nuance to constantly say experiments like this are a success? Because I'm pretty sure if you have an idea for a business in your head and I gave you the seed money to start it, you didn't just start off with hard work. And while he was cosplaying homelessness, because he was white in a predominantly black community, he was able to keep his equipment safe before he had a safe place to put it. Now, let's dig into our favorite thing to dig into. Elon, Trump, and their inevitable demise. Let's get into it.
I remember when Elon bought Twitter, and I discovered while he was attempting to buy Twitter that he didn't have the money to buy Twitter, and so he leveraged his Tesla shares in order to buy Twitter. And now those same Tesla shares are tanking. And if those shares continue to tank, then he won't be able to back the loan that he used to buy Twitter. Now, there's a part of me that wants to see the bank roll up and like put Twitter on the back of a repo truck. But also, this is the reason why Donald Trump got out there and did a Tesla commercial. Because Donald Trump was bankrolled into the presidency by Elon Musk. Donald Trump has been able to utilize having access to a social network like Twitter through Elon Musk. Elon Musk and Donald Trump are intrinsically tied to each other financially. Now, the problem is, Elon cannot convince Donald to stop with the tariffs because the tariffs are the thing that is tanking the economy. The stock market is responding to the tariff and trade wars that we're in. But instead of helping, he's vandalizing a Tesla dealership, domestic terrorism, and doing Tesla commercials. Because if Tesla fails, so does the financial backing of the Trump administration. And so, the reason why they won't give up on each other, the reason why they will continue to fight for each other, is because if one of them falls, so do both of them. So I'll be honest, I'm hoping to see Tesla shares continue to tank, because when Tesla tanks and Twitter tanks, then so does Trump. I don't care if it's Tesla, Twitter, or Trump. Lakers in 5. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Now, some of you may be familiar, some of you may not, but there was a letter that came from Tesla employees, unsigned, to the White House stating that tariffs were detrimental, that they were not a good idea. There were no repercussions. Elon Musk didn't run over to Tesla like he normally does and throws a boss baby fit, asking who was behind it. Elon Musk is now realizing he bit off more than he could chew. Now, leading up to the presidential election and a little bit after, there were a lot of anonymous sources coming out saying that Trump was kind of over Elon Musk and his presence and that he's always everywhere. And a few times Trump took some public jabs at him, because that was the moment that Trump realized he bit off more than he could chew with Elon. But Trump's broke. He's been cosplaying wealthy all this time, but he's really pretending at this point. And he's hoping to turn another profit in the White House like he did the last time. But Trump is horrible with money, and it shows. He wants to look a certain way, and he wants to buy friends. But at this point, they are in a toxic relationship, but they can't leave one another. They are so intertwined. Elon Musk doesn't want to say that he failed. We've seen this over and over again, way back since PayPal, when they paid him to get away from PayPal. Elon is not going to admit that what he's doing is a failure, that he doesn't know what he's doing. He will tank it because he's looking at the federal government like a business. As a middle-aged man, he became a red pill incel. He believes all of the talking points, and it shows. Elon and Trump are both the guys that want friends, but never, ever, ever had a friend. They have no basis for how friendship works, and they want to be accepted so badly that they were primed for the red pill incel movement, because they think that they have a sense of community where it's dog eat dog, trying to get women, trying to get money, trying to get notoriety. They can't separate. Elon Musk has worked all these years to, on paper, be the richest man on the planet. On paper, because he doesn't live as such. He doesn't even live a comfortable lifestyle. Now, everybody's personal style is everybody's personal style. And before anybody throws out Adam Sandler has had the same style and been the same person, broke, rich, and everything in between. Him in t-shirts, basketball shorts, sweatpants, jeans, we know that that's from him. but you're going to tell me that you enjoy being called the richest man on the planet. And you're not even in good graphic tees. You can't even get good cosplay gear. And you're admitting that for years at a time, you're residing and sleeping at your factories. I need you to really think about what the wealthy do in order to stay wealthy. They want that above you. Comfort be damned. Enjoying the wealth be damned. And Elon Musk is devastated. Not to mention, Elon Musk's father is still alive. His father does not think that he's a good father. Think about how piss poor you have to be as a parent for a pedophilic parent who used you as a pawn to call you a bad parent. He has daddy issues. We talk about women having daddy issues. We talk about men having mommy issues, but we don't talk about women who have mommy issues and men who have daddy issues. Elon still wants to outdo his father so he can at least say that he has that over him. And he may not be able to do it much longer. And at some point, he's going to crumble and have to admit he doesn't know what's going on with the federal government, and he failed. And Trump also is going to have to admit he didn't know what Elon was telling him he wanted to do. He doesn't understand what Elon is doing now, and he failed. And neither one of them want to do that, and neither one of them want to lose the fan base that they have now. They think that the people clamoring around them are their friends. They think that they're finally at the cool kids table, and they're not. And the biggest thing is that both of them have shown in their fits, in their public crash outs, that they are okay with normalizing violence against people who do you wrong or you foresee or perceive as lying to you. So I know there's a trend going around like, what are you going to do when it finally happens? Keep your ass in the house, because you need to realize these people believe that violence is okay and someone will pardon them or give them a slap on the wrist. Because when those folks realize how much and how badly Musk and Trump have lied to them, but if you have disdain for Musk and you're okay with being a terrorist because you have no plans on buying an electric vehicle from Tesla, here's some additional information you may want to know and some things you can do.
Stocks connected to Donald Trump and Elon Musk completely collapsed today.
Elon is panicking currently because the Tesla boycotts are working and they actually do have the potential to bankrupt him, but it's actually so much better than that. Because if you listen and do what I'm about to tell you, please, for the love of God, we could potentially bankrupt Elon Musk, ruin the right's plan A to take over everywhere, win the Wisconsin Supreme Court race, which they're currently trying to meddle in, and also maybe as a treat, make Twitter great again, free Twitter. So hear me out. Elon Musk's entire net worth relies on his ecosystem of companies. But everyone knows if you're a shareholder in one of his companies, you're now entangled in business with all of them. Why is that? Because as we know, billionaires don't actually have billions of dollars. It's the valuation of their companies, and how they keep acquiring companies is they keep taking out loans and borrowing more money based off of the value of the other companies they have and their ability to be able to someday pay those back. If you do enough digging, you'll find that Elon Musk has a bunch of different mortgages and loans that he's taken out. And what is he using to back these loans and promise the banks that he can someday pay back all of this money? It's hard to say on record for many of them, but we can guess, because when he took out loans to acquire Twitter, he used more than half of his Tesla shares at the value that they were as collateral for that. For that one, he even dipped into SpaceX a little bit. So the banks give him loans under the promise that his stocks are a certain price and he could pay them back. But when his stocks start to drop and they're no longer holding up their end of the bargain, he starts to panic because you don't want to default, or whatever the term is, and have to file for bankruptcy because you can't pay back those loans, which would put all of his businesses at risk as well. But why is the White House now panicking and having the president essentially do car commercials on the front lawn? Well, I'm so glad you asked, because this is where we come into play. The Supreme Court race is coming up here on April 1st in Wisconsin, and Wisconsin is often seen as a test state for the rest of the United States because it's pretty evenly split down the middle, red and blue. But Elon has been pouring millions of dollars into essentially kind of trying to buy the seat through ad campaigns. Another issue, there's a lot of extreme things that are at risk here in Wisconsin, and it's supposed to be more of a bipartisan seat, but the two options are Susan Crawford, who's pretty bipartisan but a little bit left-leaning, and Brad Schimmel, who is wildly right-wing. You can guess which one Elon is pushing for, but overall, this is sort of like a test to see if the right can just have Elon continually pour money into buying seats across the nation. Two things need to be done here. First, you need to get the word out in Wisconsin to show up on April 1st and let them know that you can't just do this. The rest of us all need to keep doing this right here, because obviously it's working and they're panicked that their plan A is about to go straight out the window.
Yes, Twitter has officially sued Elon Musk in Delaware Chancery Court to force Elon to pay the full acquisition price of $44 billion to Twitter. That's $44 billion. I reviewed the 62-page court filing so you don't have to, and Elon Musk is in a world of trouble and looks like a complete moron in the filing. Let me give you some background. The Delaware Chancery Court is just the trial court in Delaware that hears business disputes. Delaware has a very advanced corporate law and judicial resolution system for corporate disputes, which is why many companies incorporate in Delaware. The Delaware Chancery Court likes certainty in business deals. They abhor sophisticated business parties like Elon Musk playing games and trying to back out of deals. Twitter has also hired a law firm where the lawyer used to be the top judge in the Delaware Chancery Courts, so there's that. And the 62-page lawsuit Twitter filed against Elon Musk
But you need a certain credit score. Let me repeat that. But you need a certain credit score. They didn't ask for bank statements. And keep in mind, Elon Musk's current package, well, payment package from Tesla is also in court. For them to verify the legality of it and everything else. And Tesla stocks are tanking. Now, when he took to Twitter, when it was still Twitter, to try to strong arm the purchase of it, and was just tossing out numbers publicly, which that should have told people he was not an astute businessman, because that was taking away his ability to negotiate, to go back and forth. I thought he would have used his SpaceX stocks. And let me tell you why. Yes, Tesla does very well, but his biggest cash cow is SpaceX. He's taken almost $100 billion from multiple governments within the United States alone, from contracts, etc. That's where his biggest moneymaker is. But he used Tesla. And then he aligned himself with Donald Trump, who's been anti-EV for a very long time. Even on the campaign trail, as Musk is dumping money into his campaign, as he was bleeding money because he was using his PAC and super PAC, which was to be for his campaign to pay for legal fees, etc., etc. And Musk aligned himself with someone who was actively telling people not to buy EVs. That's why, if you remember, Musk invited Trump to a SpaceX launch. not to a Tesla dealership, not when Musk rolled out the EV cyber bus. None of that. But if you really want to hit Musk in his ego, Wisconsin, let me talk to you for a minute. Do not let the Republican win. If the Republican on the ticket win, actually, if any Republican wins, because we know about the one that's getting the most money from Musk, we don't know about all the rest of them. That will show that Musk can buy any GOP politician and their voter base. Musk won't have to run around with Doge anymore. He can literally sit back and make a phone call because he would have bought and paid for the entirety of DC. Forget a lobbyist, forget an activist, regardless of the side of the aisle that they're on. And I think this is why he hasn't completely broken down and a wellness call needs to be put in at him for him right now, is because he's like, you know what? I've got these politicians, they're going to get in. I'm going to have them bought and paid for. We'll roll back regulations. They'll give me some more contracts. It'll be fine. And because I'll convince the people that I'm the great savior, it'll be great. Do not let this be another presidential election 2024. Do not let this be another Dobbs decision, aka Roe v. Wade. Do not let this be another affirmative action. Stop sitting back thinking somebody else is going to be able to do it. That, oh, well, so many other people are going to vote. Or after it's taken away, it's going to be so easy to get back. Everything that you're allowing to be taken away at times took generations to get. We don't have generations to get it back. Stop sitting back asking, where's Kamala? You didn't hire her. Now, take a look at this.
Elon Musk is an official Guinness World Record holder. According to the Guinness World Records, Elon Musk has suffered the greatest loss of personal fortune in history. Almost all of Elon's fortune is tied up in Tesla stocks, and because the share prices have fallen so sharply in recent years, his net worth fell from $320 billion to $138 billion from 2021 to 2023. His net worth has jumped around a little bit since then, but in the last 3 months that he's been serving in the Trump administration, his net worth has fallen $144 billion. For reference, that's about $141 billion more than he's saved the federal government, according to the Wall Street Journal. As of right now, he's still the wealthiest man in the world, but not for long.
I have an idea. Just a thought. Just a thought. One, stop using his AI. If you want to run something through AI, there are multiple options out there. Stop using his AI. Okay. 2, support other businesses. It doesn't even have to be a car business, because before you go, but Taz, I'm not in the market for a new car. Support other businesses. Show the power of your dollar other places. Show them firmly who's in control and show them that we can sustain ourselves. Because as we're cheering on other countries for saying, fuck it, we'll adapt. Like, I laughed so loud and so hard when Trump was like, oh, we're going to put these tariffs on European alcohol, wine and spirits. But they're Europe. They didn't want to share their shit with us anyway. They had to cut back on their consumption in order to share with us. You think they're not going to go back to what they wanted to consume? They're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. In the United States, and particularly racist white people, need to stop acting like they're the only option. And it's time to show them they're not the only option. You keep saying you want, they fucked around, you want them to find out, help them find out. Help them find out. Just saying. Now, if you remember Trump doing his best impression of Adolf Hitler, and instead of a Volkswagen, it was a Tesla. Y'all remember that. And you also remember right before Trump's inauguration, he launched his own cryptocurrency. And ever since, he said that he wants to have a cryptocurrency reserve. He keeps talking about it. His sons, specifically Junior, is all over the internet everywhere, in between skiing the slopes, talking about cryptocurrency. Now, we know that Trump is very antiquated. I've said before, he is firmly stuck in the 80s. 80s television, 80s ideology, 80s fashion, 80s decor, 80s everything, 1980s. Did you notice this?
Trump then saying he would be using a check to buy the car because he doesn't really like all of these new systems. Now, remember that he now wants you to believe that cryptocurrency is great, even though he thinks old-fashioned checks are really the way to go.
When did you buy?
Which car are you going to buy?
The one I like is that one.
How does this work?
And I want that same color.
Are you going to put down a credit card? Elon, would you take a personal check from the president?
I do it the old I give checks. Sure. I like checks.
I think his credit's good.
Do you still have access
I
to
like a
crypto?
check better than this modern system of all of a sudden there's money in your account, nobody knows. I like signing a check.
All of a sudden, these modern systems, there's money on your account. Meanwhile, he's promoting Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and meme coins.
Some of the best business people have been able to adapt, not just with currency options, but with other things. Because I remember when credit cards came about and could be used at stores, when debit cards could be used at stores. And there were stores that were like, absolutely not. I don't want to do it. And they started to teeter a little bit, and they were like, okay, we got to get with the times. But Trump, we know you like checks. We remember your mistresses, most notably Stormy Daniels. But who is this Tesla supposed to be for, Barron? Trump, you don't drive, which I understand. Born and raised in New York City. Most people there don't drive. It's more efficient not to. Just like depending on where you live in a lot of major cities. It makes more sense not to have a car and not to drive. But once again, Trump is pushing something and telling you it's so great and such a wonderful idea, but he is not partaking in it himself. And for him to be such an astute businessman, he doesn't understand deposits. So this time last year in the court case, when they were calling him a micromanager, was he just micromanaging the checks? And that's what got him caught up the last time. Because when he was in the White House the last time and he was still doing payoffs, he was having people physically come to the White House so he could hand them, like, dude, the fact that you don't want to use technology for anything, not a text message, not an email, not a transfer, you're making this. Did he learn nothing from the late Jerry Springer? Like, stop paying hookers with checks. Stop doing your dirty work with checks. Now, Matt Gaetz wasn't any better, but at least Matt Gaetz tried to make it digital, like trying to hide it in the digital world. Because when you send a paper, you can type anything in. They're not very bright. They just aren't. And before you think I'm being mean, one of the people that's been assisting with the firings, I know they're calling them layoffs, but they're not planning on hiring these people back. I think they're just saying layoffs because of how many times they've had to bring people back. Because you don't offer a buyout to somebody you're laying off, because laying off is the possibility we can call you back. But they enjoy doing get ready with me's and outfit of the day. I wish I was joking. I really wish I was joking. But as always, here you go.
This woman was hired by the Trump administration to slash federal jobs and save money, but she's been making influencer content at her work. She only has 800 followers, and as she's in the office that's firing thousands of people every week, she's like, look at my outfit. You can get the affiliate link in my bio.
Name is McLaurin Pinover. All of these videos were shot in her government office, right here at OPM headquarters in Washington, D.C. Ground zero for Trump's plan to cut thousands of workers from the federal government in the name of efficiency. Inside her office, Pinover captures video at her desk, putting on makeup, modeling new outfits to her 800 followers. Pinover markets clothes on her account. Using what's called affiliate links, she could get a portion of any item sold through her Instagram page, like this $475 skirt or $300 dress, but unclear whether she's made any money. On February 13th, the day 20 people on her communications team lost their jobs, she posted a moment for mixed patterns. A week when her agency demanded all federal employees list 5 things they did that week, she posted the Businesswoman Special. As OPM spokeswoman, she defended the memo at the time as a commitment to an efficient and accountable federal workforce.
You know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Make sure you follow me to stay up to date with the news.
Now I know what first comes to mind. The audacity. Yes. Then you're like, oh, that's efficient. But hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. This is what came to mind when I saw it. There is no checks and balances. They're not even encouraged to verify if what they're doing is legal, if what they're doing is constitutional, if these people fit the criteria that they're just stamping on everyone. She's getting paid by the federal government to be an influencer. I want you to keep this in mind. There are people who have been fired while off the clock making content that had nothing to do with their place of employment. Just because 1 or 2 times they had their uniform on and they're like, no, this doesn't represent the company, where they're doing nothing problematic. But every single day, you heard she's doing her makeup, she's doing her hair in the office and doing a whole outfit of the day and affiliate content. And as she's firing people, she's not doing budget conscious affiliate links. First of all, the shit's ugly. $400 in this economy? But this is the efficiency. We're supposed to be getting rid of inefficient people. And the whole thing is working remotely, working from home is no good. People aren't efficient when they work from home. I don't know about you, but in my time when I did work for someone else and worked in corporate America, there was more time wasted with people hiding in bathrooms, taking 50 million breaks, extending their lunch, all these time while they were working together. There were more sick days. There were more there were more everything. People getting engulfed in conversations and being late coming back to their workplace. But this is okay. This is not a problem. But Musk he's on top of it, right? He's got it all together and got it all figured out, right? Yeah. Now, I don't know if y'all saw the clip from Jubilee. I'm not a big fan of Jubilee. I think it's the whole debating back and forth, stupid. But there was a young lady that said that she didn't see a problem with white Christian nationalism, that it should be implemented within the United States. Now, when I heard this, I was like, I don't think she knows what those words mean. There are a couple people that were like, "You're being a little harsh." I think she does. She knows it. I don't think she does. Because she's like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with it. It'll make the country better." I don't think she realized that. But here's confirmation that she knows that she fits the eugenics standard for white supremacy, but she does not understand anything that she's talking about. Before you think I'm being mean, no, I'm not. Not this time anyway. Not yet. We'll see how this goes. Take a look. I'll see you in 2 and 2.
So this is my prediction for how the Republican and Democratic parties are going to change their messaging over these next few years. So I've already noticed a shift a little bit in this past election with how the Democrats were trying to change their messaging right before the election and sound a little bit more populist, and they're doing this by mainly focusing on economics and trying to say that they're the ones who care about the working, the middle class. Now, the Democratic Party has lost a lot of the trust of the working class. They used to be called the party of the working class, but they kind of lost that trust, and that's why they moved towards these social issues, but I think they moved a bit too far left with the social issues, which is why they lost this time around. And so I think what they're going to be doing, and AOC has been talking about this recently, is they're going to, over these next 4 years, be changing their messaging to say we're the populist movement, we're the ones kind of rebelling against the billionaire class, especially now that people like Musk and Zuckerberg and Bezos are kind of cozying up to Trump. They're going to be able to say, you know, we're the Luigi Manlones or whatever, I don't know how to say his last name. And so we're the resistance, you know, we just care about the common people, and that's going to be their messaging. And now what that's going to do is, because they'll end up shifting to the right a bit with their social issues and talk less about things like abortion and LGBT, etc., immigration, what's going to happen is that's going to leave a bit of a void, and the right is already currently facing a big divide where you have people who were basically classical liberals who moved to the right, and I think a lot of those might end up moving right back to the left, because the right is very divided. We have people who are basically these libertarian, you know, big tech Elon Musk fanboys, Joe Rogan listeners, and they're totally fine with things like mass immigration of H-1Bs, and they don't really care about any sort of like actual America First protectionist policies. And I think a lot of those people, I think the Democrats are going to win the next election. Those people all shift back to the left, and the right is going to shift like way further to the right, like we probably haven't seen before in a while, because there is like a large growing faction on the right wing right now that's a lot more actual like, paleo-conservative, a lot more Christian nationalist, and that's my prediction for the future of politics. So hit me up in 5 years and tell me if I'm right.
got it. I got it. I got it. I know how we're going to do this. I know how we're going to do this. Okay? Know exactly how we're going to do this.
So this is my prediction for how the Republican and Democratic parties are going.
Now remember, she does not have a prediction. Okay? She doesn't have a prediction. Okay? Her smart particles are on like a 10-year vacation right now. They're in Puerto Vallarta. Okay? They are not with her. They are not with her at fucking all. She's just trying to get some booty. She's trying to give away her booty. But we're gonna go through this piece by piece because she got decent lighting. I can give that to her.
Going to change their messaging over these next few years. So I've already noticed a shift a little bit in this past election with how the Democrats were trying to change their messaging right before the election and sound a little bit more populist. And
when haven't the Democrats sounded, you know what messaging change? Okay, they said everything but fuck you, Trump. Like, and I think a couple of them did say it.
And they're doing this by mainly focusing on economics and trying to say that they're the ones who care about the working, the middle class.
They've always cared about the working and middle class, and economics has always been a part of every Democratic platform, like every single one of them. It's the Democratic Party that always saves the economy after the Republicans trash it because the Republicans are sycophants for the wealthy. And the Republicans use politics in order to become wealthy themselves.
Class. Now, the Democratic Party has lost a lot of the trust of the working class. They used to be called the Party of the Working Class, but they kind of lost that trust, and that's why they moved towards these social issues. But I think they moved a bit too far left with the social.
Move towards social. Do you know what a social issue is? They didn't move away from social issues for them to move close to it. Like you just said that they were the party of the working class, which means that they would be the party of social. Y'all keep calling Democrats social, like Jesus Christ.
Issues, which is why they lost this time around.
No, they lost this time around because y'all partially stole the election in parts of the country, had Elon Musk threatening people and promising them $1 million and siphoning information off of people. Y'all lied to people. And you got the dumbest of the dumb to come out. You gerrymandered. The list goes on. Did you drink some of the bleach before putting it on your fucking head?
And so I think what they're going to be doing, and AOC has been talking about this recently, is they're going to, over these next 4 years, be changing their messaging to say we're the populist movement. We're the ones kind of rebelling against.
Okay, so you just found out who AOC is, and you just started listening to what she says, because what AOC is saying today is what she said yesterday, 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago. Like, she's been saying this shit. If I'm not mistaken, she was saying this shit in college and when she was a bartender. And it's the same stuff that she said when she was fed up with the current people in charge when she decided to run. The fuck is what? Do your ears? Do you need to borrow my hearing aids? Is that what it is? Is that what it is?
Against the billionaire class, especially now that people like Musk and Zuckerberg and Bezos are kind of cozying up to Trump.
No, it's not just now. It's been that. What the fuck? Are you okay? Are you? Was today your preschool graduation? And you trying to use all of your vocabulary words?
They're going to be able to say, you know, we're the Luigi Manlones or whatever. I don't know how to say his last name.
You don't know how to say his like. You threw an extra fucking letter. You took a letter out and replaced it with another one. Girl, don't try to infantilize yourself so people don't fucking correct you. What the hell? I know you're trying to rebrand, but not quite rebrand since you got embarrassed since that video went viral. Okay, you know what? Whatever, Pippi Longstocking.
And so we're the resistance. You know, we just care about the common people, and that's going to be their messaging. So I've already noticed a shift.
The same messaging that they've already you know what? But then you think Christian nationalism is the way to go. Okay. You do realize that if Christian nationalism were to reign supreme here in the United States, you're going to have to get rid of all your social media. You're going to have to go find you a good husband and start popping out babies expeditiously. I hope you can cook. Well, you're white, so I hope you can put some mayonnaise on some pineapples and sprinkle some shredded cheese on top of it. Okay? Expect your husband to cheat multiple times with men, women, and non-binary folks. Okay? Expect Grindr to be on all of his devices. You better not touch not nan one of them. All right? You won't be able to vote no more. Not nan no more. Okay? You're gonna be in charge of the kids, but only slightly. Okay? You can only teach them what your husband tells you you could teach them. All right? All right. They gonna be playing every sport because your husband needs to take their trophies into his office space and get her done. All right. Girls' night. No more hot girl summers. No more simmering girl springs. It's over for you, Booski. It is over for you. And you're gonna be in church all the time. Okay. Sunday morning worship from sun up to sundown. Tuesday, Wednesday, because Tuesday gonna be women's Bible study. Wednesday gonna be collective Bible study. Saturday for the couples, but you ain't gonna be going with your husband. You're gonna have a different excuse every week because Saturday is when he's with the one he really want to be with, Mistress number one or Mr. number one. I don't judge. I don't judge. So yeah, let me know how that Christian nationalism works out. And just realize anytime y'all throw a party, you are the party favor. Good times. Good times. Let you know in 5 years if you right or not. I can let you know in 5 seconds. You dumb as hell. What the fuck? What do they teach? Do y'all just teach little white girls how to do makeup and their hair? No, I don't see. No, y'all not teaching that because I can see them. I might wear glasses, but I could see them. They be in focus. I could. And that was on a college campus. That was on a college campus. That was a college. A college campus. A college. Somebody is paying for her to be there. And to still be stupid. How did she get in? No. I try to stay out of trouble. I try my hardest. And then people like this exist. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, Mrs. Doubtfire, the prequel, believes that she has politics all figured out. We can fix everything with white Christian nationalism and making shit up as we go. And Luigi, if you saw that video, the rest of us know how to say your last name, Mangione. Now, if you could just get us a message to where them videos that you made before you get locked up, hopefully they're going to let you out. We all just want to see them for the purpose of research. 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 She says a big word. Everyone applauds and throws money. Absolutely. No, I don't want to know the answer. I got tons of questions. I want absolutely zero answer. Yeah, research purposes. I'm a researcher at heart. But as always, thank you for joining me here. If you have not already, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central, and I believe 11 a.m. Pacific. Hopefully I got that right this time. Join the Eager TikTok page for conversations to help white-bodied individuals deal with deconstructing from racism. And if you want more from me, check out the link in my bio. There's a lot of stuff. So, as always, thank you for joining me, and each one teach one, each one reach one. Go out and get into some good trouble. But as always, nothing that takes bail money, not in this economy. Till next time.